Take a breath in and center. Sink into your stillness. Sink into the source of all being we call God. And know our oneness through the unity of Source, creator of all life, both seen and unseen. And we give thanks for that life, for our life, and for all the lives of those who are on the journey to love with us. We enjoy that peaceful stillness and feel love bubbling up and embracing and enfolding all that is. We envision our wholeness, our radiant health, our optimal well-being, and fulfillment of all our needs and desires. We give thanks for that care, that concern, and that love that is expressed through each one of us, for us, by us, for our greatest and highest good. We honor each one with kindness, respect, and dignity. Our hearts soften, our inner eye and inner ear open. We are receptive. We're receptive of the messages we need to know today. Knowing what peace and love would do in every moment out of our stillness. We elevate our perspectives. We are inspired by Reverend Diana's words today. We give thanks for her inspired teachings, and thanks for all of the crew that make this space open, available, and welcoming today so that we can enjoy fellowship with each other that we actually call the Source. Enjoying fellowship with the Source in Taizé today. I close this prayer knowing that this prayer is already answered and it is already unfolding. For a prayer spoken with feeling and great love is answered as it is released into the creative process of love and law. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This morning we consider what love would do now. What would love do now? And as I prepare the welcome and the introduction of this Holy Day season, what love would do in this moment is to take a couple moments of silence so that we might send our love to all of those affected by the mass shootings yesterday, both in Australia and at Brown University. We just offer a moment of loving and peaceful silence to those families involved. And so we count ourselves blessed this morning. We are here, we are well, we are together. And I say welcome. If you are new with us here online this morning, my name is Reverend Diana Johnson, and I am the pastor and spiritual director for Mystic Heart Spiritual Center, We're an independent interfaith community. We teach and are committed to living by the universal principles that weave their way through all of the world's great traditions. So it is my prayer that you find a sense of home here, and that your experience this morning helps to lead you to the guidance and wisdom of your own mystic heart. As we prepare to join our voices, we begin acknowledging that this is the third Sunday of Advent. That's a holiday on the Christian liturgical calendar. We've been lighting a candle each week to bring our awareness to a particular quality of the divine, qualities that infuse our lives and that infuse us, that we have access to when we seek them out. So the white candle in the center is our God candle, or our Christ candle. It represents the spirit by which and from which all of creation comes into being. This week we light the first purple candle again. This is the candle of hope or faith. We add the second purple candle of peace. And for the first time, the pink candle of love for the third Sunday. We understand that love is our natural state. It is not an emotion, but rather it is our desire to give of ourselves, just as Spirit is forever giving of itself to all and as all of creation. Today also marks the first day of Hanukkah, which is the Jewish festival commemorating the recovery of Jerusalem and the rededication of the Second Temple in the 2nd century BCE. So we're going to light the 2 Star of David candles to remind us that religious freedom is important to all people, and honoring again those who suffer at the hands of others because of their religious choices. So we begin our time of Taizé meditation now with musical prayer. So feel free to join voices with ours.
Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. Still my mind, be at peace in my awakening. I release with my heart, free my soul in my awakening. I am whole. Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Still my mind, be at peace in my awakening. I release with my heart, free my soul in my awakening. I am whole. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
And together we Om.
Om.
Settling into the sacred moment, we breathe. Allowing the presence of Spirit to fill our being, bringing us awake even as we settle into the here and now. Grounded, awareness pointing inward. Breathing in the love in this place. And allowing every out-breath to be an expression of love. In the silence, breathing in love, breathing out love. We share this time of reflection, making time for prayer and meditation, opening ourselves to the voice of Spirit, opening ourselves to loving presence. We take a moment to remember, to feel and know our connection with all of life. We envision a web of consciousness that surrounds and contains all that is. It is eternal, has no beginning, no ending, is all-knowing, infinite light. And seeing each one of us as an individual expression of the light in that web. every human, every creature, the plants and the soil, all shining with the light of Spirit. The rocks and the minerals, the water and the wind, all that lies below and all which stretches into the heavens, each and every part of an expression of infinite love, Spirit's boundless self-givingness. All of life is aglow with one radiant light. We take a moment to sense and feel and know that we are connected to all that is. As human expressions of the divine, we are caretakers in sacred service to one another, to all life forms, and to the beautiful and intelligent planet that sustains us all. We trust and know that we are leaving an imprint of loving kindness on the world, a ripple of compassion that comforts all who are in need. By the joining of our hearts and minds, wholeness is being revealed right here and right now. This month we are considering the question, what are we waiting for? And this morning we'll be adding another related question to our reflections with what would love do now? In the lighting of the love candle this morning, we remember that each of us, as an intentional expression of the Creator, is an expression of love. We are called to embody and express the love that we are. As an intentional expression of the Creator is an expression of love. We are called to embody and express.
It needed to be repeated.
It needed to be repeated. Apparently so. Why not one more time? We are called to embody and express the love that we are. From the Franciscan tradition, Father Richard Rohr, love is not really an action that you do. Love is what and who you are, in your deepest essence. Love is a place that already exists inside of you, but is also greater than you. That's the paradox. It's within you and yet beyond you. Your true self, God's love in you, cannot be exhausted. You get more love by letting it flow through you. If you love, you will become more loving. Love is your very structural and essential identity, created in the image of God. When you are living in conscious connection with this loving inner presence, you are in your true self. God is forever united to this love within you. It is your soul, the part of you that always says yes to God. From the Buddhist tradition, unselfish love, loving kindness. This is the meaning of love. It is a natural quality that we all have latent inside us. We can cultivate loving kindness and even perfect it. as the foundation of a happy and meaningful life. From the Sikh tradition. God is love, and love is God. As God cannot be confined, restricted, or limited to any particular creed, cult, or race, similarly, a religion of love cannot be restricted or confined in geographical limits and boundaries. God is all. Love is all. From the Mormon tradition. Love is the very essence of life. It is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Yet it is not found only at the end of the rainbow. Love is at the beginning also, and from it springs the beauty that arches across the sky on a stormy day. Love is the security for which children weep, the yearning of youth, the adhesive that binds marriage, and the lubricant that prevents devastating friction in the home. It is the peace of old age, the sunlight of hope shining through death. Love, like faith, is a gift of God. It is also the most enduring and most powerful virtue. From the Toltec tradition. Love is unconditional. Love is everything that exists. It is the energy that allows us to create a bond with other beings and within ourselves. From the Unity tradition. Born of the One, we have the same features and carry the same character as the One. Our atoms carry the binding signature we call love, our true nature. Love is of God and is God. Our hearts are full of love, which must be lived and expressed. And from the New Thought Ancient Wisdom tradition. Love is the self-givingness of God. Human love is our own giving of ourselves in the image and likeness of the one source. There is no difficulty that enough love will not conquer, no disease that enough love will not heal, no door that enough love will not open. As we cross the traditions, we find that we are really not so different. One of our most common qualities is love.
On this third week of Advent, we celebrate the divine quality of love. Love is so much more than an emotion, more than a romantic sentiment. If God is love, and we are made of God's stuff, then divine love is our very nature. It is our essence, what creates us, sustains us, and maintains our very life. The yearning to love and to be loved is deeply instilled in human nature. The desire to give of our love is hardwired into us. And when we share our love with another, we impart to them the essence of who and what we are. We allow our souls to intermingle, and we find ourselves in the divine presence. Khalil Gibran wrote, "Love gives not but itself, and takes not but from itself. Love possesses not, nor would it be possessed. For love is sufficient unto love." When you love, you should not say, "God is in my heart," but rather, "I am in the heart of God." And think not that you can direct the course of love. For love, if it finds you worthy, directs your course. The Apostle Paul taught us that love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful, not arrogant or rude. Love does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at the wrong, but rejoices in the right. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. We feel God's love most powerfully when it flows through us to another, when we lose ourselves in service to them, when we get out of the way and let infinity flow through us unimpeded. As we share our 3 minutes of sacred silence this morning, I invite you to consider times when your heart was filled with divine love, so much so that it overflowed from you. Remember that experience with your whole body and ask, what am I waiting for? Who needs my love in this sacred moment? O divine beloved, thank you for the love that is in my life, for the love that is in this room, for each of these loving souls who share my spiritual journey with me. May we always remember that the love that we feel is your divine presence within us, and that the love we give to others is a sacred expression of the divine. Just as faith prepared us to receive last week's gift of peace, that peace empowers us to give our love freely. Centered in faith and peace, we can share our love without neediness, without expectation. We love because it is our nature to do so, and our love is pure, complete, and perfect. As Reverend Diana continues our Taizé meditation this morning, we embrace her inspired words with love. We allow divine guidance to help us answer our questions. What am I waiting for? And what would love do now?
At the season of Advent, we look to the teachings of Rabbi Yeshua in his two great commandments. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind. Love your neighbor as yourself. And let's not forget, love your enemy. In other words, they who oppose you or disagree with you or have different ways of living and being and believing than you do. And we look to the teachings of Paul. Let all that you do be done in love. And finally, from the book of 1 John, let us love not in word or speech, but in truth and action. It doesn't hurt to love in word or speech as well. Love is truly the greatest medicine the world has ever known. It takes life from a passive state, being alive, to an active state, truly living. Our very life force is activated by love. Love has the uncanny ability to transform everything it touches. Things become infinitely possible when love is present. As light has the power to overcome darkness, so love has the power to overcome fear. Imagine standing in the darkest cave or the darkest night of the new moon. The darkness is complete. You cannot see anything. And then someone lights a single match. Suddenly, there is light. No matter how much darkness there is, light overcomes it. Darkness cannot persist in the presence of something as powerful as light. In the same way, love overpowers fear. Always. In the presence of love, fear cannot persist. And so in every moment we are faced with a choice. Will we direct our attention toward love or fear? We are born to love. The only true power we have is love. The only thing that will bring true and lasting healing to our lives and to the world is love, fellowship, compassionate connection. All of the divine qualities of spirit expressing through us. These are powerful questions that we ask this morning. What would love do now? And what about now? And now? What would the infinite givingness of God do in this moment? And if we know the answer to this question, what are we waiting for?
Just before you say something you can't take away, take a breath, then let it out. Try to think about what would love do now. Wondering if you should cross that line for good. Whatever you decide, ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? Everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love we try for love. In the end, that's all we know that's real. Whether right or wrong, doesn't matter, just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? Everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love, in the end, that's all we know that's real. Whether right or wrong, doesn't matter, just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what will love do now? What will love do now? What would love do now? What would love do now?
We bring our Taizé to a close by calling to mind the ancient Sarum prayer. God be in my head and in my understanding. God be in my eyes and in my looking. God be in my mouth and in my speaking. God, be in my heart and in my thinking. God, be at my end and at my departing. God, be in my head and in my understanding. May I discover a more enlightened understanding as I move through the world. God, be in my eyes and in my looking. May I set my expectations high. May I see the goodness of God in everyone and everything. God, be in my mouth and in my speaking. May my words serve only to express compassion, kindness, and generosity. May they be used consciously as tools for building bridges. May they always promote peace, God, be in my heart and in my thinking. May my compassionate heart lead to peaceful thoughts. May I become a more peaceful and loving presence on the planet. And God, be at my end and at my departing. May the world be a better place because I was here. I am so grateful for this space, for these teachings, for the amazing spiritual family that is growing here. Thank you, Spirit, for the countless blessings of this day and every day. We are all so very, very blessed. I humbly release my word to the loving and lawful presence, trusting completely that a prayer spoken powerfully and with feeling is a prayer answered. May I have the eyes to see that everything that follows this moment is answered prayer. And so I let it be. It is done. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. So as we close our Taizé meditation, we offer the opportunity for you to share of your financial good with our community so that we might continue doing our good work in the world. If you're joining us online, you can find a donate button at mysticheart.org. You can also find a mailing address. And as we honor this sacred practice of circulation this morning, I have just a short little video for you. It's called The Best Christmas Commercial Ever. So we say thank you for these gifts as they are given. I know that they're given in love, given to this community so that we might grow and prosper and be able to return so many more gifts back out. So we say thank you, Spirit. Thank you for the gifts that come through each one. And so it is.
So it is.
All right. So we bless you on your way to coffee or tea or the rest of your Sunday. And we thank you for being here this morning. And perhaps you'll return at 10:30 for a conversation.
May your soul always find what it's looking for. May your heart always lead the way. May you live in peace and harmony. And may love always fill your day. May your path be strewn with happiness. May success find you everywhere. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayer. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayer.
God bless you. Enjoy your day. If you're interested in either staying or coming back, we are going to be putting together our 12 Days of Kindness bags after lunch today, probably 12:45 or 1 o'clock, somewhere in there.
Take a breath. We come together. We come together in the name of love. And we contemplate what love would do in each moment. And that is generated out of our peaceful, tranquil minds, the stillness, where we center and ground ourselves in love and all of the characteristics of Source, all the graces that Source has to offer, and always at our fingertips. We come together to share our wisdom with one another. The wisdom from our life experiences, the wisdom from our teachings, to help us each grow in love and to learn from one another. Oftentimes even to elevate our perspective, and I would call that unlearning and relearning. And so I give thanks for the opportunity, this space in which to do that with each one of you, my warriors, spiritual warriors on our journey to love, returning back to love, centering in love. I close this prayer knowing it is already answered because it's powerfully spoken and deeply felt. I place it into the creative love, the creative process of love and law, knowing it is done. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Chris. Beautiful opening prayer. Bring us all together, grounded in spirit. So welcome if you're new with us here online this morning. My name's Reverend Diana Johnson. I'm the pastor and spiritual director for Mystic Heart Spiritual Center. We're an interfaith community, and we teach universal principles as well as being devoted to living by them. My tongue is all twisted up. These are the things that are woven, the principles and qualities woven throughout the world's great traditions. So this month we're giving our attention to the season of Advent, and to many celebrations of light that happen throughout the cultures and traditions all over the world. No matter which tradition you practice, it is a time of stillness, of quiet, but also a time of mindful and watchful waiting for what is to come, for the physical light to return, for the fog to lift, and for what is to be born in us and in our lives. So this morning we lit all of our Advent candles but one, which we'll complete next Sunday. This is the third Sunday of Advent. We once again this month honor the Buddha's enlightenment with Bodhi Day and the Feast of Santa Lucia. We honor today as the first day of Hanukkah, and we offer our love to those who are affected by the shootings that happened yesterday. Sad that in the name of religious freedom, people are sometimes hurt. So, let us join in joyful song as we prepare for our conscious conversation.
Welcome to the Mystic Heart. Join the celebration. Lift your voice and sing your part. Make this affirmation. Spirit made us family with loving hearts to share. Together we are joyfully practicing the possible through prayer.
And everything's possible
So
through prayer.
welcome to your mystic heart. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound and say, hey, 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 hey. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got faith like a mountain, I've got faith like a mountain, I've got faith like a mountain in my soul. I've got faith like a mountain, I've got faith like a mountain, I've got faith like a mountain in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. Got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river in my soul.
Woo! Let's take a moment now to feel the presence of that energy, that spirit as it's coursing through our veins, moving through the body, life moving through, love filling us up. In the midst of sorrows in the world, yet there is joy. There is joy to be found. So joining me in the sacred practice of visioning for a love-soaked world, where all humans are embodying and living from their highest selves, all humans, from their deepest wisdom, their most generous and loving natures, honoring and caring for one another, no longer fearful of one another, but instead loving. Caring for and loving the beautiful planet that sustains each and every one of us. Feel and know with me now a world where all needs are met, where all beings have plenty of nourishing food, the safety of a warm and comfortable home, a world where mental and physical health and education and healthy relationships are all well supported by social systems that are grounded in wholeness and wellness, integrity and honesty, where all beings work and play at what feeds their souls and are well compensated for their service. This is a world where all beings are valued and respected for their inherent goodness and light, where authenticity and vulnerability are not only welcomed but celebrated.
Amen.
Where the peace we cultivate within ourselves, where that peace shows up as a world free of hatred and violence and indifference. Yes. Feel and know with me a world where greed is no more, where there is abundance in having enough, where generosity is the norm, where every being receives all that is needed for a full and rich and contented life. By the power of our collective intention and our powerful imagining, we are writing a new story. In this world of our creation, we have written a new story, created a world that works for all beings. We know that our good work has borne fruit. We have paid no mind at all to appearances, trusting completely in our higher vision. We've come to understand that it is through our hands and our feet and our hearts and our voices that positive change happens.
Amen.
So we have chosen to align our actions with our vision, living into the changes with our families, our friends, our neighbors, and finally with other nations. And a new world has been born. In full acceptance of its reality and with the deepest humility and gratitude, right here and now we release our word to the great mystery that I call God. We release it now to the one that gets it done, and so it is. Amen. Take a moment to bask in that energy, that creative and loving energy, that shift that we have created on the planet, that little bit of devious defiance that we have taken part in. I have to say that I am so grateful. This morning, I have a nephew who was on campus at Brown yesterday, and he texted right away as soon as he got to his apartment to let us know he was safe and holing in his apartment. He's working on his doctorate degree. And it just broke my heart to know that other families were not so fortunate. But we do count ourselves among the blessed. So if you were here with us at Taizé this morning, you'll know our topic of conversation this month has been, what are we waiting for? Because we know it's up to us. We're the self-reflecting, conscious humans that can make choices and make a difference. And at this morning's Taizé, we used what would love do now as our point of focus and reflection. And we said that love was not an emotion by our definition, but rather Spirit's self-givingness as all of creation. It's like an absolute sort of definition of love with a capital L. And therefore that our human desire to give of ourselves was a reflection of Spirit's giving of itself. So as we're made in the image and likeness of the One, so do we desire to give of ourselves. We reflected on teachings about love from a variety of spiritual traditions, and then we closed with the ancient Sarum prayer. So I'm going to begin the conversation by repeating that prayer and then talking about what each line of it might mean, asking and having a conversation about the different lines. And then we'll see where we go from there. Who knows where we'll land. So, the prayer starts with the line, well, let me just read the whole 5 lines. God be in my head and in my understanding. God be in my eyes and in my looking. God be in my mouth and in my speaking. God be in my heart and in my thinking. God be at my end and at my departing. So let's back up to the first line. God be in my head and in my understanding. What does that mean to you? God be in my head and in my understanding. Kimberly?
Not to be in the monkey mind.
Okay.
And to be more like in the presence of God.
Okay. Staying out of the monkey mind, being aligned with the presence of God. Chris?
Maybe it's just me, but I forget that other people are divine incarnations of spirit. I forget that I am too, but I mostly forget when others trigger me. I allow myself to be triggered by behavior or the words of others. So I think if God is in my understanding, then I'm more likely to ask, what's it like to be you? Right? You know,
Right.
why do you feel the need to behave this way or talk this way?
Right. So more deeply, truly understanding another's perspective and remembering the divine is at work in this one too. Pamela?
Getting it out of your head, like she said, the monkey mind, but that, you know, how it starts going off, and to be able to shut that off
Mm-hmm.
and ask yourself, am I aware? And go back into your awareness and bring consciousness or awareness, which takes practice.
It does. It takes practice for me, for sure.
Especially when we get triggered.
Yeah. Yeah.
To learn not to get triggered. Just
Right. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to come over here first and then back over here, because I had a hand here.
Yeah, I think for me that means that I want to be in my mind, in my mindset, focused on love, compassion, and openness to seeing what is happening, and to be fully open to what is happening and to bring the lens of learning and love and compassion to how I am filtering it through my mind, and to come back to
Right.
that again and again.
Okay, so bringing that deep understanding to our own filters so that we can perceive what's more closely what's actually happening.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Beautiful. Thank you. Roulette?
I was just going to say, sometimes you just some people just need to be cussed out. Some people just, it's certain situations, some people just like, they just can be, until you get to that point, like, it just keep poking. Like, just keep poking. Sometimes, like, in certain situations, sometimes you gotta come out with a shadow. Like, they gotta see that shadow side. Just, you know what I'm saying? In control, but like, yeah. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's, we trying to play, like, you know, like, yeah, we spiritual, but like, you know, there's another side to us. To all of us. It was like, making sure that, you know, your boundaries is kept firmly,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Draw the line for unacceptable behavior.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. It doesn't mean not having boundaries, for sure. It doesn't mean not speaking truth to power, but from love and with respect. Yeah, thank you.
And with compassion.
And with compassion, yeah. With clearer filters of what's really happening, rather making sure we're not just being triggered by somebody and it's not our stuff that's coming up, actually. Because it's hard to know sometimes. Right? Your stuff, my stuff, our stuff.
We're not being judgmental, are we?
No, we wouldn't be, no.
No, never.
Yeah. Okay. Ready for the next line, or is there more around the understanding? Okay, so God be in my eyes and in my looking. Now it doesn't say seeing,
I was thinking that.
it says looking. What does that say to you, Kimberly?
To me, it says when you're looking, then you're probably not judging. And when you're seeing, then you're getting pictures that are already coming from other places, your past or whatever.
Okay,
But just looking means you're more aware.
okay.
Observing.
So you're observing, you're looking, okay.
In the moment.
More in the moment.
Yeah.
Could it
Autumn?
also mean like what you're looking for? Like, are you looking
Bingo.
for the good? Are you looking for?
Yes. Because we know the law of expectation says that what we expect to see is likely to be what we're going to see. So what are we looking for? Is that what we're seeing? Probably. Chris?
This line always reminds me of one of my favorite lines from Ernest Holmes is what you're looking for, you're looking with, and you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So looking is different. Seeing is receptive, but looking is active.
Right.
And so, yeah, what are you looking for? 'Cause
Yeah.
That's the only thing you're likely to be able to see.
Yes. At the Taizé, part of my speaking about this line was, may I set my expectations high. Not necessarily of other people, although if I'm going to hang out with folks, you know, it's not going to be the folks that are going to be talking stuff. I mean, at this point in time, it's like I can set boundaries and step away. So may I set my expectations high of myself, of those spaces in which I place myself, not so that we judge others, but because what you expect to find is what you're likely to find. When I worked with children, I found this to be so true. I was given a group of 28 or 30 kids, half of which were special ed kids, and we would do musical theater. And I would give them a 2.5-hour long complete musical with song and dance and all of this stuff, and we'd carry it off every year because the bar was way up here. The understanding, the support, and the compassion was there to promote each child in whatever way they could best take part, and each one stepped up into that place. And I find that's true of people. When you hold a high bar, not so that you can judge, but just to uplift people, to place your faith in what's possible, to let people know that you have faith in them. Chris, and then Lucinda, and then
One of the most valuable things I learned in the teacher credentialing program was that children will live up to or down to your expectations.
people in general.
People, yeah,
will do that.
That's
Yeah.
true of everybody. So,
Yeah, that's right.
So if you expect the best of somebody and expect that if something doesn't look like their best, expect that it's the best they can do in that moment, or expect that they have the best intention.
Right, yeah. So what are we expecting to see? Lucinda?
Mine was basically the same of his. I worked with DD adults, and it's been my experience that the people who tend to be in their world a lot of times are paid caretakers, and it is to their advantage not to set high bars for the people that they take care of, because the more care they need, the more money they're worth. Yeah, that's one of my soapboxes and always has been, so I'll try to stay off it this morning. But it's just, they could do so much better if they were allowed to, if they were encouraged to. And maybe that's part of our thing in the world, is to just help to raise those bars.
Yeah, to help put your faith in the capacity.
Yeah.
Faith in the capacity.
You can do this. We're not going to
Yeah.
hold you back just so we can make money off of you.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Marie?
It all kind of goes back to what everybody's saying. In college, when I was getting my business degree, they talked about the expectancy theory. And that when you're talking to one of your staff, you give them what you're expecting of them without saying, I'm expecting this. Like,
Right.
I have a party of 20 coming in, so I'm going to give you that table because I know you're going to handle it the best.
Right.
So that gives them, oh, wow, I got to handle it the best, because that's what's
Right.
expected of me. So
Yeah,
I like that. I love when we put that out to people.
right. In positive language.
In positive language.
Putting our faith in people.
Yes.
Not in language that says you better or else.
Better or
Right.
or else.
Yeah.
Right.
Hamlin?
I heard a good story about how there were teenagers that were like the worst, and they were just troublemakers. And there was a new teacher that came to the school, and they set these numbers in front of her, and she had these numbers next to them. She thought those numbers were their intelligence, which were like really high numbers, you know? And she didn't know, so she believed that she had the smartest students in the school.
Wow.
And then she was teaching that way. Well, it was their locker numbers. And the principal was like, what are you doing in here? And she's like, well, I have the smartest students in the whole school. And the kids didn't believe it at first. But because of that, because of her belief in them,
I love that.
they all were geniuses. And
Yeah.
they all were,
They wanted to live up to that.
and they
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of us holding
Because
each
no one
other
ever
up.
expected that of them before.
That's right, yeah.
Love that story.
That
Yeah.
was very cool.
Holding each other up is so powerful.
Yeah.
Really is. So, next line. God be in my mouth and in my speaking.
I believe what that comes to my mind is when you come from your heart and you speak with love, it does not tear anybody down.
Right.
It just builds them up.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
What if we never opened our mouth until we were coming from love and building somebody up?
My head would explode.
This world would be quiet.
This world would be much quieter,
Be more peace in the world.
more peace in the world.
I'm thinking how important it is to remember that, really, as you reminded us, sometimes we have to speak with some sharpness to be in our truth. We really do. So what I'm interested in, can I be speaking in a clear way, and sometimes even in a sharp way. And deep inside, I'm still saying, you are a brother and sister to me, and I'd like you to reawaken to who you really are and bring that forward. And I'm going to believe that you have that capacity, and I'm calling on that. So I want to be coming from there, even when I have to say a firm no. And I think
Right.
about the passage in the New Testament where someone says, I'll follow you as soon as, I have to bury my father. And Jesus says, leave the dead to bury the dead.
Right.
And it's a little bit sharp. And it's not the only time
No.
that mystical teacher,
Right.
that troublemaking, radical, shit disturbing,
Yes.
Middle Eastern crank, said, this is how it is.
Right.
So I want to be able to bring that when it's called for, but I want to bring it from an inner spirit of, I'm calling on better in you than you just showed me a moment ago.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
And that can be done with compassion.
And
can.
Firmly.
firmly with
That's
compassion.
a soft pedal to compassion to keep the
Right.
firmness to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from a place of absolute love.
Yeah.
Cheryl?
Well, not only for other people, but yourself.
Mm.
I do some silly things, start bad mouthing myself, and I have to stop myself. Say, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
And daily, I catch myself.
Yes.
Yourself for the capacity. I have the capacity to stop myself
Yes.
and move forward with love.
And sometimes those words are spoken out loud even to ourselves, and sometimes they're just rattling around in here.
Yeah.
But either way, God be in my mouth, in my thoughts, in my speaking, in my self-talk. Thank you. Pamela.
Just like that self-talk, like where did that come from too? So
Right.
To look at
That's
that.
right.
And I've had where I was going to anoint my girlfriend that was dying, and my ego mind, when I got to the door, said, "Who the hell do you think you are?"
Yeah.
That was my mother's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was old stuff. So if you look in and to figure out where did that come from,
Right.
and you can go, cancel, clear. That's old stuff. Thanks for showing up, but I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm, I'm clearing that out and creating
Right.
a new canvas.
I'm going to speak with my own voice right now, and this is what I'm doing.
I told
Yeah.
my girlfriend I was going to be for her.
Yes.
And I did it, and it was amazing and beautiful. And wow, the beauty that comes out of the pain sometimes.
Yeah. Thank you. Autumn and then Michael.
I've been taught that you can talk to yourself like you would talk to a small child.
Mm-hmm.
Would you to a baby say anything negative?
Right.
No.
So you need to talk to yourself in just a loving, compassionate way.
Mm-hmm.
That little child inside of us needs
Yeah.
to hear that.
Yes, that's true. Thank you, Michael.
When you're talking to yourself, are you talking from your capital S self or your small s
Okay.
self?
When you're speaking to yourself or to anyone else,
Right.
are you speaking from that capital S higher self, your wisest, most compassionate and loving self? Or from your ego-driven, I want it my way, I have definite preferences here self? Thank you. Lucinda and then
I
Kimberly.
think a lot of times we've talked about how love should be your first choice. And so if we're going to approach someone else with anything that we need to say, we need to do that from a position of love.
Mm-hmm.
That would also pertain to when you're going to approach yourself about something. So
Right.
maybe hear something that you need to hear in a loving voice. And so if my mother's voice was loving, I'll hear it in her voice, but if not,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sure God has a voice that I can hear.
Thank you. Yeah, Kimberly.
My past in my head was not very nice to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started studying and I found out it was called parent tapes, when I realized that was my mother that was really saying that, not me,
Mhm.
it was easier to be able to go, wait a minute, that's not how I truly feel.
Right.
And because it became knowledge to me,
Mhm.
then I could change it.
Yeah.
And before that, I had no idea.
Right.
So Thank
Yeah.
God that there's books now and classes that you can take so that you can become aware,
Right, yeah.
that you can always choose again.
You can choose again. And let's remember, just like when we talked about grace last month, and we said that grace doesn't always come in the guise of something beautiful and soft and sweet, and sometimes it comes in a form that just brings you up short because maybe you know you're supposed to do this or that, or you should have done this or that, and you just keep refusing to do this or that. Grace, if that's what you're supposed to do, grace can come up in a way that's very unpleasant and very uncomfortable, but gets you back onto a track that is right for you. So just like grace can do that, just because we say, you know, God be in my mouth and in my speaking, and that we should be coming from a loving place, as you were pointing out, it doesn't always sound necessarily sweet and sappy. You know, if I'm speaking, as an example, say if I were to speak to my adult child and need to say something that I'm seeing, you know, to reflect to this person, it may not come across or sound to him like I'm being soft and sweet. It might sound like I'm calling him on something. But it doesn't mean it's not loving. If we see it's from our perspective, from our highest ability to perceive that this is for the highest good, and the intention is with love, even if it doesn't sound that way, it's still a loving thing to do, a loving way to speak. Chris, and then Chris.
That reminded me of the old tough love thing. It's almost a cliche and sometimes an excuse for harsh words, but if somebody is doing something that's harmful to themselves or others,
right,
it is the most loving thing you can do to alert them to it and help them put a stop to it.
Right. Or use that to remove yourself from it if that stop is not forthcoming. Yeah. Thank you. Chris?
So I think I'm saying, as we hold ourselves accountable to ourselves and to others, it is loving.
Yes. Yeah, that accountability is loving. I made a comment in Teze that, you know, may I use my words only for building bridges and lifting up rather than tearing down. And again, sometimes that sounds sweet and sometimes it doesn't, but the intention is in the bridge building, in the building up, the seeing the higher in someone and calling it forth. I do this frequently in my training of practitioners.
Mm-hmm.
It's loving. I hope that mostly it's gentle, but it's sharp and it's direct because I know that that's what they want. That's what they're seeking to live into.
She doesn't just contain that to practitioners.
Miley.
I'm hearing that as we create more intentional family and more intentional environments, bringing in people into our lives that we trust and allowing them to speak truth to us is a really loving and powerful thing, because
yes,
even if it's straightforward and it's something that we need to work on, I rely on the people around me to see
yes,
the things that I can't see and to speak those things
yeah,
with truth and love. And I think that's something that maybe could have been done in a hurtful way as we were growing up in families, but in an environment that you are choosing with people that you trust. It's
yeah,
a very powerful thing. And the other thing, with speaking, I see it as such a creative tool.
yes,
It's bringing something new into the environment, and it's so powerful. So being responsible with that power.
Yeah, the power of our word. It is very powerful. And it is important to be responsible with that power. For sure. Yeah,
I
relate.
would say the bridge building, and I feel it also just at times, even if the bridge does tear down, that's an opportunity to build a stronger bridge.
Yes.
Because if the bridge tears down, you start to see what actually tore the bridge down.
Yeah.
Sometimes the dissection, if that's what happens, that dissection is needed to atomize into something new, like a phoenix.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, bridges fall. They're a cycle of destruction and creation. I'm not speaking to that not being the case, just saying that for myself, it is my sincere hope that I do not approach another person intentionally trying to tear them down.
Right.
That's what I mean by that. I use my words to seek to try to find our points of connection if there are points of connection. So next line, God be in my heart and in my thinking. Now, in my heart, in my thinking, not in my feeling. So what is that saying to you? Marsh?
I think in every one of the examples that you've given, if you just replace the word God with love, it almost answers its own question, answers your question. Not to oversimplify, but it just, there is no instance where that wouldn't pertain.
That's true. Let's see.
For me, it brings me back to my commitment to extend love unilaterally and unconditionally, because anytime I think someone is other than me, that's not so. That's not
Right.
so. And right now, there are 3 people on the planet that I have great difficulty finding love for in my heart. I think I'm going to go up into 4. Because of the suffering that their actions have caused for me and others whom I love. And I know that it is a part of my spiritual work now to extend love to those people, whether or not they make any moves in my direction or in the direction of people that I love. They are spiritual teachers for me, and I don't like it. But I acknowledge it.
Yeah.
It is the truth.
Yeah. It is true. It is true. Lucinda.
Yeah.
That was so good, I almost forgot my thought. A lot of times, our thinking affects how we feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so if we're keeping in mind, keeping an eye on what we're thinking, in a lot of ways, we're automatically keeping an eye on what we're feeling.
Okay, good.
Because I can relive an argument in my mind and I'll get pissed.
Oh, sure.
You know?
Yeah. And that serves you well, huh?
Well, I didn't say I do it all the time.
No, I'm going to go Chris
Just
and then
accountability
Kimberly. Chris?
I think we separate our heart and our mind artificially, I think, because really our heart and mind and gut are informing us all the time. They're all working together, and so I think what that's telling me anyway is to because I can get in my head, I can live between my ears and just it sounds good and it comes out of my mouth and or it sounds good inside, comes out of my mouth and oops, So
Anything about
do I filter it through my heart and do I filter
Right.
it through my gut intuition, and if I can coordinate all of that before acting or before speaking or if I can have that kind of a holistic thinking about what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
It's going to work out better than if I just
Yes, yeah.
go strictly intellectual and
Mm-hmm.
all the theory sounds good.
And once again, the world will be a much quieter place if we all take more time to process from the mind through the heart, through the gut, and then we speak. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, relax, Kimberly.
I just was,
Your face just goes,
I know, I'm working on that.
it's okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that your mind and your heart work together
Uh-huh.
if you allow it.
Yes.
Because they've
that's
even
true.
proven that. I can't think of his name right now, but he always talks about coherence, mind and heart
Yeah,
coherence.
yeah.
And then your
It's
gut's
Greg
involved.
Braden, I
Yes.
think. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, they've even proven that, so
Yeah.
that was what I was gonna say, but he hit it on the nail on the head too.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted, that was what my thought was.
Okay, thank you. Sorry that I forgot that I was there.
No.
Chris.
What I've been working on and thinking about is, what do I hold actually in my heart that's influencing my brain and thinking?
Mm.
So it seems to me that we really need to look inside that heart
Yeah.
and make room for that Christ consciousness to actually thrive. Because I think if we're holding anger and resentment and hostility, that is influencing the brain.
Yeah.
And then the brain leads to the kinds of choices and actions we take. So I think this season is about clearing space in the heart of those feelings, those thoughts, so that Christ can be born and thrive.
Gotta make space.
Room in the inn.
Gotta make room at the end, that's right. Marcia and then Michael.
I found some solace in learning that the meat suit that we're wearing is wired in such a way that it hits, that essentially our limbic system, reactionary, is what we first, is where whatever impulse happens is where
Right.
it first goes. And so your immediate inclination to do something that's may not be godly, has a little bit to do with the way we're wired, and it's like
Yeah.
what you do with that.
Right.
Once it hits
Yes.
the frontal lobe,
Yeah.
that's the tricky part, is in, trying to get rid of that old limbic system that was necessary when we were cave folk.
Yeah. Yeah, and if we can just give it the 10 seconds it takes to get from here to here, where we can then make a choice. That's the danger, is not giving it that 10 seconds.
And I think what we need to remember also is that both feelings and thoughts are not permanent things. They pass, and they pass relatively quickly if you let them go.
If you let them go.
If you don't,
Right.
if you keep those thoughts alive by ruminating on them and then you're miserable.
Right.
And you deserve to be, because you're doing it to yourself.
Unknowingly, most of the time.
Well, if you pay attention, you realize, oh, I'm thinking that same thing again about that person or what they did to me or whatever.
Yeah, there I go again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where asking yourself, am I aware,
Right,
comes in and brings you back
yeah,
to realize,
Yeah.
whatever you're thinking, that's not good.
So the last line, God be at my end and at my departing. What does that say to you?
A lot of times people are afraid to die because I'm not quite sure what's going to happen after they do. And so people live in fear their whole life that they're going to die. I mean, I remember being in that place. I'm not afraid of death anymore, so.
Yeah.
Because I know it's, well, what I've been, what
Yeah,
I've been
you have a
taught.
deep faith in what
Yes,
you believe
that I'm
happens.
I'm eternal. So that takes that edge off.
Yeah.
But I think that's what it's talking about, to just know that God's always there, even at our ending, and to just be at peace with that.
Okay, thank you. What does it mean to you, Marie?
Brings me back to my childhood. When I was a little girl, you always had to say your prayers before bed. And the one prayer I had to make sure I said was, now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. Because I was so scared that if I didn't say that prayer and I died, I wouldn't be with God. That was, I said it every night.
Every night. Yeah.
Literally.
Yes.
Nicely done.
Chris.
There's a concept, and I think it's from Buddhism, that that the purpose of a spiritual life and meditation is to prepare yourself so that you can die well. Mm-hmm. And to me that means not to forget, the eternality of life. That this is just a changing of form.
Right.
But like Kimberly was saying, people get scared and because they don't know what's coming next. But just to have that faith,
right,
so that I can go into that good night without kicking and screaming.
Thank you. Yes, Kat.
For me, this also connects to the idea of having conscious endings throughout life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was having coffee with a friend of mine once, and my husband was leaving, and I said, bye. And she said, you don't actually know if you'll ever see him again.
Yes.
A friend of hers had said that kind of goodbye, and her husband went out and died in a car crash 5 minutes later, 2 blocks from home.
Yeah.
It can always happen. So I try to remember when I part from people to make that be a conscious moment of connection, because I do not know.
Right.
So that's a spiritual practice I come back to, and I certainly don't succeed in remembering all the time. But I do aim for that, because I want all my endings to be intentional.
Yes. Yeah, that's a beautiful point. We're real conscious with that when we leave one another. And I try to do that with each person that I'm with as well.
I had to learn that, though.
Yeah, I brought that to our relationship. Lucinda?
I think another point on that would be that that's an important thing to do, even if you part and you're not real happy with each other.
Yes. Oh, especially.
Definitely. I don't really like you right now, but I do love you.
Right. Yes. Yeah, I don't want to be the one who was angry and stormed off, and then that was it. I don't want that.
I don't want to live with that.
No.
I don't want to leave that either.
No. So for me, it's, may I be at peace with myself at the point of departing. May I be at peace with others. May I be at peace with death itself. And it also, for me, is pointing to knowing that I left the world a better place than I found it. I did something to make a positive difference somewhere to someone. Those are the kinds of things I think about, as well as all the other things we're talking about. So let's see here. I'm going to skim down some of this. I have a quote here from Howard Thurman. Actually, I've got a couple quotes here. So I'm going to read something that I put here because it's here. I'm going to see where it goes. Third week of Advent, we lit the candle of love, and we've been reflecting all morning about love in through all kinds of lenses. The qualities so far, we've looked at our faith or hope, however you view that, peace and love. Those seem to run as common threads through all of the world's traditions. And so while we're sort of practicing in honor of Advent, really we're practicing in honor of any of the celebrations of light that we will experience this month. So in our visioning of a love-soaked world, we always talk about everyone being well supported by doing work that they love. So there's another use for love, work that they love. What does it mean to do work in the world that you love? What kind of love is that? What is that speaking to?
Well, there's a saying, if you love what you're doing, then it's not work.
Okay. If you love what you're doing, it's not work. Chris?
It has to do with your work is meaningful to you.
Okay, so it's
You
meaningful.
feel like you're making a difference.
All right. Making a difference. Michael?
I think the way you make a difference is being in service to others. If
Okay.
you make a difference in someone else's life, how can you not feel good about that? A positive difference, that is.
Right. Positive difference.
Let it clarify.
Another person's life. Okay.
You know, there are countless opportunities to give of your time and treasure. And for me, it means that in those countless opportunities, I open to sensing what do I feel called to do, what feels like there's a connection there between
Right.
me and the world, between me and this person. So I aim to follow that.
Yeah. Okay, so what am I called to? What is my heart really led and drawn to? Relay?
Oh,
No? Okay. Oh, Chris.
That reminds me of Joseph Campbell's Follow Your Bliss.
Yes.
Mhm.
If your
Yeah.
bliss
Love Jessica.
would be the
Yeah.
same as your love, and if you follow your love,
Right.
then you will serve where you're needed.
Yeah. So this topic is where these couple of quotes come in. The first from Howard Thurman, and I know I've used it many times. Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it, because what the world needs is people who have come alive.
Yes.
It's a really powerful way to speak to what we're talking about, loving the work that you do. And we say work, and sometimes we turn that into a four-letter word, work. Work is just really the act of accomplishing something. It doesn't mean that it's hard. It doesn't mean that it's, it just means something's been shifted or accomplished in some way. The second quote is from Frederick Buechner, American theologian. It says, "The place God calls you to is the place where your deep gladness and the world's hunger meet." I love that one too. It's a little less familiar, but the place God calls you to is the place where your deep gladness and the world's hunger meet. Nice sentiment. So I have a question. Do you believe in love as a power? As a power? Okay.
The power.
The power?
Yes.
What do you mean by that? When you say love is a power or love is the power, what's that mean to you?
That's all God is love.
Okay.
It's more pure.
It's all God is love. It's more pure.
It's true.
Okay.
It's all good.
It's
Totally
all good. All these cliches we use. It's so funny. I mean, we know what we mean by them, but
To me, sometimes love is extremely painful.
love can be extremely
That's the
painful.
power it has sometimes.
It does, yes.
Very painful.
Yeah. It can be very painful. That's why sometimes we shy away from it.
Yeah.
We don't want to get hurt, right?
Sorry.
Lucinda.
I think that the reason I see love as a power is when we approach things with love, it always goes more smoothly.
It always what?
It always goes smoother.
Oh.
Every time I approach something with love, it flows with grace, it flows with ease, and that's letting go of any kind of fear, any kind of anger, any kind of negative feeling, because those aren't real anyhow. I mean, they're real, but they aren't needed. But if you approach with love, that just really is a power. It makes things go more smoothly.
It's as though the universe knows that even if your words are sharp, even if they are needing to be clear, that if universe, God, spirit, whatever you want to call that, senses that you really are coming intentionally from love, it's going to flow more gracefully.
Right.
Yeah. Chris?
My mom had a saying that drove me nuts when I was a kid. That she'd say, "You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar."
Yep.
I don't want to catch no flies, but it does point to a greater truth. You know?
Yes, it does.
If love is behind what you're doing,
right,
it's going to be more effective than
Yeah.
if you just have a sour attitude toward
Right.
the person or toward the situation.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris, and then Kat.
In terms of love being the highest vibrational energy we can hold, out of which we operate, that's what I think.
That's the power.
That is the power.
Yeah.
Because we can have all of these other thoughts and feelings and emotions, but they're at a lower vibration level. So if we can rise up to a higher, pure vibration level to operate from, that's what love is about and why it's so powerful.
Right, thank you. Kat.
It's really more and more my felt experience that love is the essential energy of the divine, the essential creative energy of the divine. And I'm thinking of Unitarian theologian James Luther Adams, who called God the creating, sustaining, transforming power. And I would say that you could also say love is the creating, sustaining, transforming power. And when I open to love, I feel moved into some sort of creative action, even if it's the action of my thoughts towards someone. That very often from love comes the sense of, oh, and now this.
Right.
And now this. So I want to be open to that creative force.
Yeah. Thank you. Is there anything else that wants to be spoken about love today, this creative force, power, before we wrap up? So we have a very loving thing to do after the lunch today, so reminding us that if you would like to stay, we're going to make lunch a little briefer than we normally do, just so that we can gather to put together our 12 Days of Kindness bags, so that we might have gifts to carry out into the community that are helpful to some of our unsheltered neighbors. So I'm going to wrap up in prayer. How's that sound? Since I don't see any other hands needing. Take a breath and just remember that what we breathe in is an atmosphere of love, and what we share with the world as we exhale is the love that we carry within us, if we are intentional about that love. Infinite Spirit, loving presence, you are all that is, you are all in all. Every part of creation, from the very smallest of the small to the vastness of the cosmos, is an expression of your light, your love, and your power. And so, I know that I am that, and each one of us here is that perfect and intentional expression of the divine. And in knowing this as the truth of my existence and for each one here, I can relax my heart and mind. I can relax my need to control. I can surrender to the flow of spirit in my life. In this holy moment, I acknowledge the loving presence and power of that which is beyond all names, trusting in divine order and timing as it guides each of our lives. I approach each new day with wonder and curiosity, listening deeply for what is mine to do, what I am called to. I allow grace to lift and empower me, to be my strength and compassion, to guide my thoughts and my words and my actions. God, be in my head, in my eyes and mouth, in my heart, so that at my end of days I know that I have lived fully and well. Thank you, Spirit, for all that you have given me, for my life, for everything in it. I trust absolutely and know the power of the Word, the power of deep feeling. And so I know that this prayer is being acted upon even now. I say thank you for the countless hands and hearts that it took to bring our feast to the table, that it took to bring our gifts that we share with the community into this space. I know that we are touched by thousands. And so in deep gratitude and humility at my need for deep connection with other beings, I call it done. I release this prayer. Let go and let God, and together we say, and so it is. Amen. Thank you for joining me here today. We're going to bring this part of the morning to a close by offering an opportunity for you to share of your good with this community, should you choose to. If you're at home, you can go to mysticheart.org and you'll find a donate button or a mailing address. As we engage in the sacred practice of circulation, I invite you to consider a child's perspective on the Christmas story.
That's a really great question. And I even don't know that answer, but it is really great.
A long time ago, there was a girl named Mary, and she was doing something either inside or outside the house. She had brown hair with a dress on. The dress was blue and sneakers. And then an angel named Gabriel appeared up, and he said, "Mary, you are going to have a baby, the Son of the living God. You will name him Jesus, and he will be very royal." Something like that.
Okay, I'm so happy.
Joseph, he had a t-shirt on and sneakers.
An angel appeared. "Joseph, you're gonna have a baby, and you should not be afraid, but be excited about it."
Then he vanished.
An angel came up to me and said, "You will marry Mary." And then they rode on a donkey all the way to Bethlehem, and then they asked the keeper from the hotel, we need a place for the night." And then he said, "I have no room." And then they had to go in the barn.
During that time, the wise men found a star.
One was a tomato and one was a cucumber. It's a veggie movie. You know, food don't talk, but this food does talk. With eyes and a mouth and a nose.
They remembered a long time ago there was going to be a baby written, and then a scar in the sky would show when he was being born.
We should follow the star and bring gifts to Jesus. Let's go ride some camels.
So they took a journey over oceans and seas, long lands, plains, mountains. They had to go so far just to see this baby.
The wise guy brought Jesus gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
That night, an angel appeared to the shepherds while they were watching their flock of sheep.
They wear a bag on their head. Outside, they cut it open so we could see on his face. In their hand, they have a little, a cane.
Yeah.
Like old people.
wings. It doesn't have wings. It does. The angel Gabriel said, "Do not be afraid. There's a new baby named Jesus by that star over there." And then the shepherd said, "We have nothing to wear. Why would we go see a king like this? God doesn't care. You can go just with nothing." They rejoiced so happy that they were there. The table, it smelled like manure. They used the hay for like a little crib. He's so precious. His little blue eyes. Baby Jesus, you are handsome, cute, and beautiful. Jesus was supposed to be born. God sent him to earth so he could live on earth too, so he can help people out and stuff. Jesus is the king of Christmas. Then they moved into a little house. A little house. It was so little. Tiny thing. It's so tiny. This is like the worst video.
Well, I don't know how you end on that note. So I won't even try. But I will offer from all of us our gratitude to each other for your gifts of time, talent, and treasure. And I know all is actually coming from Source and through you to bless each one of us. And we enjoy the blessings and the fruits of the labor to make this place an important place for each one of us, so that love can not only live in here but ripple out. So I offer thanks and I close this prayer. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. And now I turn it over to the music crew.
All right.
Bless us on our way.
Send you on your way. Bless you on your way to lunch.
All together, hand in hand, we see the light, we take a stand, and we are changing. A whole new life for you and me. Take your past and set it free, and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace enfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, may good flow to you. Let joy renew you until we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, 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 love be with you until we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Now breathe it in. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you until we meet again. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Now breathe it in. Ooh, love be with you.
God bless you. Thank you for being here this morning.